Hi, so I'm Latanya. You may have heard me on the podcast before. This is not the usual podcast that we do. This is more just a kind of diary of myself, almost. So when we do the podcast, I come at it as a mum. That's my role when we're doing the Living, Loving, Learning in a Sensational World podcasts. I'm talking about my experience of being a mum of four, especially to my neurodiverse children. In being their mother, I've come to realise a lot of things, and when I speak to people in my community, I realise that they have similar experiences. And what I mean by that is, so I believe that I have ADHD, and this is something that I've kind of come to realise quite late. So I'm 37, and it's only when speaking to other people, doing your research, because you want to research as much as you can about like your children and what they're going through, etc. And then you start seeing things. So for me, I was looking into autism and dyspraxia, and I was looking at, in regards to the dyspraxia, I was looking at how dyspraxia can often be misdiagnosed as ADHD or things like that. And then I started looking into it a bit more, and then I was looking at ADHD, and then it showed like ADHD presents differently in girls and women. The same with autism, can often be more difficult to diagnose in girls because they're better at masking, and the research that was done previously was only kind of done on boys. So that got me to thinking and reading, and when I'm reading all this stuff about ADHD in girls and women, and how a lot of women are being diagnosed like quite late, like 30s, 40s, 50s. I'm reading all these things. I don't tick every single box, like, don't get me wrong, but a lot of it I do. And then speaking to like my family and some of my friends, and like telling them like, I believe like this is what's happening. Like, I believe this is why I do these things. People are just like, yeah, I can see that. It had never crossed my mind before, but all of a sudden things in my life make sense, and it's really strange. So I have, gone to the doctors, spoken to the doctors about it, and he said I pass the criteria for a referral, but obviously referrals can take quite a long time. So I'm on a waiting list, and we will see. But it's just really strange to see that jump, that correlation between researching for my children and actually seeing lots of things that my children struggle with are things that I've struggled with, but in a different way, and how I've managed to find little coping mechanisms. For example, I'm actually a very, very naturally disorganized person. So when it comes to like our company we've set up, which is Am I Alone? When it comes to that, I'm over the top organized. So I have lists, everything is color coded. I set reminders for deadlines, and I'm really on it. So just now I'm actually sat on the computer, and I came on the computer to finish off a task that I'd started last week for Am I Alone, which is just like some little videos about some acronyms. And instead of finishing that, I have done some, but instead of finishing that, I've then sent some emails out, and then that triggered something. Then I was looking, oh, hang on, have I done the thing with Apple? So then I've emailed Apple, and then to try and get our podcast on Apple, and then I've checked what it's doing on YouTube, and I've checked what it's doing on Amazon, and I've checked what it's doing on Spotify. And then I was like, oh, actually, I might just do a little blurb for myself. And now I'm sitting here doing this. This is not what I've intended to do. I'm supposed to be looking into funding this afternoon. Like, it's really unorganised, but I know what the problem is. The problem is I've come on, I've decided, right, I'm going to do some work, but I haven't written down what I'm doing. So I am literally jumping from one thing to another. And that's not great. I get lots and lots of things started, but I'm not going to get stuff finished. I know if I want to get it finished this afternoon, I'm going to have to write myself a list. Like what I need to do. I need to finish this. I need to finish that. Blah, blah, blah. That's the problem for me. It's if I don't use these coping mechanisms that I found, I just flitter from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. I have the same issue when it comes to kind of like tidying the house and stuff, or tidying anything really. I can go to somebody else's home and help them tidy up quite easily. If I walk into my own house, I cannot do that. So I have to do really simple lists. For example, take cups and plates and cutlery to the kitchen, pick up any rubbish, put any clothes away, fold up the towels, do the laundry. It's really simple, basic things that I need to do that most people would be like, you could just go and do that. But I struggle with that. And I know one of my children struggles with that. Like, you can't say to him, tidy your room, because that doesn't really mean anything to him. And he'll look at his room and he'll be like, yeah, that's tidy. But if you break it down for him, if you say, right, I need you to put all your shirts on hangers. I need you to put all your trousers, fold them and put them in your drawer. I need you to put your underwear in your drawer. I need you to pick up the rubbish from around you. You do that, he can do it. One of my other sons, I can say to him, tidy a room, and my guy gets that room tidy. And he doesn't need any additional instructions. He just does it. It's not a problem for him, but it's a problem for me, and it's a problem for one of my other sons. So seeing those kind of correlations between my difficulties and their difficulties is quite eye-opening. And this was just a really quick little thing to give you, it's almost like a diary of what I was thinking of at this moment. So that's that for now. Enjoy. Have a great day. I might make another one of these soon. Bye.